Welcome to the Wonder With Me podcast, where I, Dr. Tonia Winchester, invite you to get curious with me about all things mind-body healing, especially how we can unlock the incredible healing power of our unconscious minds, so that we can all get out of stress mode and go back into healing mode. We'll talk about how you can easily create healthy, sustainable self-care habits so that you can calm your mind, sleep deeply, wake rested, and enjoy happy, energized days. Ultimately, so that you can make a bigger difference in your well-being and that of your family and the world around you. These casual chats are for educational purposes only and don't constitute a therapeutic relationship. With all that said, let's get this episode underway. Come wonder with me. Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Wonder With Me podcast. This episode is season 1, episode 13, Communicating 101, Speaking So They'll Listen. I'm wondering always how to become a better communicator because so much of our day-to-day life, experience, stress, and joy comes out of being a good communicator. So what is it that you can do differently so that your message gets across when you feel like people don't seem to be listening or don't seem to be getting it? In this episode, we dive deeply into this exact topic, what you need to watch for and how you can change your own communicating style so that people are going to get your message loud and clear. Okay, a couple notes in this episode. I think I explain it, but just in case you miss it, NLP, I use the acronym a lot in this episode, and it stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. This is how we use very specific language patterns to communicate directly with the unconscious mind so that it can learn, heal, grow, and change easily with what seems like very little effort. So it has to do with neuro, the mind, linguistic, language, and programming, how we're wired. And in this episode, I talk about my life's, well, let's say second greatest love, which is dancing, transforming people's lives being the first. But dancing is a great entry point to have a conversation about communicating because that's exactly what partner dancing is. It's learning to listen, it's learning to read, it's learning to observe, it's learning to respond appropriately, which is exactly what we want to do when we're having chats with people, good ones or hard ones. Okay, awesome. I'm super excited for you to dive into this episode. Let's get into it. Let's get wondering. Communicating 101, Speaking So They'll Listen. Issues communicating can be a big problem in our lives and relationships. When people aren't responding to what you're saying in a way that you want, what can you do differently to get your message across? Partner dancing and neuro-linguistic programming have answers for this. I'm a very good salsa dancer. I'm not a professional, a performer, or a competitor, but I've been salsa dancing for over a third of my life, for 16 years. Being a good salsa dancer means that I'm a good follower. I know this because I feel it on the inside. When I'm following well, I'm in the flow with my partner, and things are easy, light, and fun. I'm fully present. I'm listening, watching, and feeling my leader's cues using what we call in neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, my sensory acuity, engaging all of my senses and observation skills. And I have behavioral flexibility, another thing we do in NLP, as I respond to my leader's suggestions and adapt to each partner in turn. Strong leaders are not forceful, but clear. An experienced lead will offer the lightest, featherest touch with the tip of their pinky finger slightly moving 1 millimeter. And I'll know exactly what to do because that tiny movement is completely clear. Good leaders also listen like good followers listen. Both partners need to be in tune with each other. The follower responds easily to the cues from the leader, and the leader pays attention to their partner's skill level, comfort level, and offers appropriate suggestions. Both people are present. Both are listening, observing, adapting, adjusting. And this makes a beautiful dance. And this is true in our conversations too. There are two sides to any conversation, the speaker and the receiver, right? Both sides need to be listening. The receiver must be open to take in the message. Now consider this. Whose responsibility is it to ensure that the message is received and understood? In arguments, the speaker might say, "You're not listening to me." And to counter this, the receiver could say, "You're not speaking in a way that I can understand." I'm curious, and maybe you're curious too, if perhaps the speaker can also have behavioral flexibility and adapt to the person that they're trying to communicate with. One of my favorite dance moments recently was with a very high-level leader. He has performed professionally, and even though he has more experience than I do, we had a fun time dancing together because he read where I was at and adapted his leading style to suit my experience and talents as a follower. I felt incredibly seen, safe, and comfortable. And to be clear, we didn't understand these things about each other because we sat down and had a conversation about it. We learned these things through trial and error in the first 8 to 16 counts of the music. As we're beginning the dance, we're both feeling, watching, listening to suss out how the other person communicates as a dancer, a leader, and follower. The leader determines in these few short seconds how much pressure to use to lead me, if I can handle, say, a double spin or complicated arm patterns. And because of that rapport that he had established with me by paying keen attention to me, he was able to also challenge me and our dance. At one point, he spun me consecutively about 20 times. There I am going around and around and around. We're both beaming at each other, seeing our smiles each time I spin around and spot his face. Let's come back to you and how you communicate with people, whether they be loved ones or business contacts. You have to decide how you can speak so they will most likely be able to receive your message. And it's actually really easy to know exactly how to speak to them. They will show you precisely how they want to be communicated with. Not consciously, of course, but unconsciously. They'll be using certain words, speaking at a specific pace, and with a discernible pitch and tone. Simply observe them. Notice, pay attention. This is the first step. Do they speak quickly, softly? What's the pitch or tone of their voice? Do they use specific gestures? Are they in a certain posture? First, notice with your sensory acuity, then mirror them with your behavioral flexibility. Adjust your posture to match theirs. Use the same words and phrases they use. Change your speed, tone, and pitch to reflect what you're noticing in them. Even try breathing in sync with them. Make these changes even if they're uncomfortable for you. They may not be your natural way of communicating, which is likely why you've been struggling in these often repetitive conversations for so long. Really, what's worse, making some slight adjustments in how you're presenting your information, or having what you're trying to say ignored and lost? Adapting to your receiver's style of communicating will allow them to really get what you're saying at a deep unconscious level where all change, learning, and healing happens. When you make these changes in how you talk to people, suddenly the repetitive conversations that used to just loop around and around and around get a direction to them and actually go somewhere productive and helpful. Issues calm and resolve. It's about spin number 18 or 19 and my partner yells, "You're fabulous!" And the truth is, we were fabulous together because we both took the time using our sensory acuity to pay attention to the other and to adapt our leading and following styles to match and mirror the other person with our behavioral flexibility. Watch and match. That's all there is to it if you want to be a communicator whose message gets across. Give this a try. I'm so curious to see how this goes for you. And if you're feeling like you're needing help with this, that's exactly what I do with my clients. I help them, A, clear the past so they're not triggered by things in the immediate present moment. And I coach them how to communicate in a way that's effective and powerful and resourceful. So if you're needing help with this, reach out, and I'm happy to set up a discovery call with you to find out if what you're wanting and where you're at is a match for how I love to help. Take good care, and may you choose to make all your dreams come true. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Hey, thanks for wondering with me today. If you've got something good out of this, then please forward this episode along to the people who you know could benefit. Be sure to subscribe, and if you're really keen, you leaving us a rating and review helps us to help more people, so thank you in advance for that. If you're wanting more insights about how you can leverage the power of your unconscious mind to go back into healing mode, head on over to toniawinchester.com, where you'll find my book, Breakthrough the Insomnia Cycle, and other helpful ideas. Thanks again, and we'll connect on the next episode of the Wonder With Me podcast. In the meantime, may you choose to make all of your dreams come true.